Welcome to my energy update. It's Energy Update Monday. Trying to get a rhythm here, so I think Monday's a great day to kick this off on. So first of all, big news, or big news in my world, because I love getting together and holding community. 1010 is on Thursday, 1010 portal. 1010 portal, very, very powerful. It's always an opportunity for propulsion onto the next level. That is Thursday. I will be holding a live stream, which is essentially like a ceremony, wisdom teachings, activations, you know what I mean, healings, all of those things. And we come with our intention, we come with our energy, our power, our magic, and we weave our magic together in community. But we really, really springboard off the 1010 portal energies, because the 1010 portal energies are all about beginnings and transformation. Okay, brand new beginnings. There's also a karmic balance thing going on here as well, because it is actually number 10 is completion. So this particular portal is all about opening the door to your next level. Now, I spoke about this a lot last month because Ma'at was bringing in her principles for us to really embody and live by: cosmic truth, trust, order, law, balance, reconciliation, because we've needed to get right with that, and we're still working in those realms. We've needed to kind of like get orderly and get organized to be ready to pass through, to propel into our next evolution, our next evolutionary stage. And that is an initiation rite. Okay, so because obviously when we have to now cross the T's and dot the I's, you get that takes energy. You're gonna have to go for a few things and have some awkward conversations and stand up for yourself and stand in your power, whatever that might look like. But that's kind of like the justice of Ma'at that she's bringing through. So of course now we move into October, and I've been working a lot with Thoth, because Thoth has come in with Anubis, actually like a freight train. I always say that, like a freight train, because it's like, that's what it feels like. They're just there. And Thoth is the god of knowledge and wisdom. He is sacred architecture, tablets of light. Okay, so the tablets of light tour was basically brought to you, to me, through him, because it was all about reaching out to those teachers, those beings, you, if you're resonating with this, the encodements of the tablets of light, those that believe they have something powerful to share with the world, but it's like an itch you can't scratch, can't unlock it. The tablets of light was created for that reason, to bring you to the temple on time, like literally in Egypt, so Thoth can unlock your encodements, so you can really remember who you are and share that with the world, right? So the tablets of light tour, I suppose I birthed that for Thoth. And that's another thing with Thoth, just FYI. Thoth always works with you, okay, to express his teachings on the physical plane. So Isis was very much in service to him like that. And he comes to you in a multitude of ways. Who else did he work with like that? It came up. I can't remember. Maybe it was Hathor. Anyway, there was another god or goddess that he would work with and through, so they could express his teachings to the people. And, and I know definitely he did that with Isis, because she was always with the people. So that's what he's doing with us. That's why the Hermetic principles came through me the other day, because it's an ascension ladder. It's really important that we understand those principles, because they're the ancient ones that we have actually been living by. But now that was unconsciously. Consciously now we live by Thoth's teachings and understandings, and we do understand them because we are holding a tablet of light of his within us, right? So Thoth is very much here because he's all about the magic and transformation and alchemy. He's the god of alchemy, right? As is Sekhmet, but he is the god of alchemy. So he's like really here helping us go into that next evolutionary stage with Ma'at, because he's also an upholder of Ma'at. Makes sense, right? So with your altars, so I'm going to go through a few things here, but I just want to revisit what we've already done. Now, I've been sharing this month a step 2 guide on how to build a working altar. And I'm telling you now, if you haven't done it already, go back to the videos and put one together. There's a bit of a movement happening here on YouTube, and we're all kind of building our altars, and I'm having many conversations with different beings here, and they're like, oh my God, this is happening. Oh my God, that's happening. Now, every moon phase I post in the posts. So once you've built your altar, you can then layer it with the moon phase and know whether you should be actioning your manifestation or whether you should be releasing things so it can grow. The moon manifestations energy, the phases, are essential for your altar. So if you haven't built your altar already, please go back and build one, because this month is essential for things like this, because we've got the 1010 portal, which is going to be another energy propulsion into that very focused energy altar, because it's all about abundance, I would assume your altar is. And then we have the temple, you know, which is my classroom meeting, which doesn't cost you a thing. So there's absolutely no excuse of not turning up or showing up to the temple. That's happening on the Thursday of every end of the last Thursday of every single month, basically. And guess what? This month it's landing on Halloween. So I'm going to be turning up in my witchy hat, and I do actually call each and every one of you and come up with a little bit of a dress on. I don't know, but I'm definitely going to do it in my witchy's hat. My witchy's hat or my witch's hat. So yeah, so that's this month is really, really potent for this manifestation energy. Pitch up, grab your surfboard, let's do it. So now I wanted to share with you the power of this altar, right? Because what it actually does is you open a portal. So which means you are condensing your energy and the stream of consciousness through spirit to your altar, through the deity that you're working with or deities into you. Every day you sit at that altar. Every day you give your spell, invocation, affirmation. You speak it. Every day you light the candles, because it's important to have the right color candle with all of the things, you know. Every day you do that, you build the energy more and more and more. And I liken it to a cauldron mix. Imagine you've got a beautiful big cauldron and you've got some potatoes in there and you've got a stew going and you kind of a little bit of that, and then you're going to slow cook it, and then you leave it for a bit more and you're going to go little bit of time, put some thyme in, you know what I mean? Little bit of spice here, and then before you know it, you have this alchemical mixture of beautiful divine food. And then you just let it sit for a while. And that is what a cauldron actually does. It's an alchemy pot, right? So this is what your altar is doing. And if you kind of follow the inspiration to build an altar, you are going to feel how empowered you feel. Your anxiety is going to reduce maximally, because you're going to realize that you are doing something about the fact that you don't have enough money, or you don't have enough love, or you don't have enough whatever. You basically come away from lack. You're doing something. You are in your power and you're actively working with the magic. So it brings a sense of empowerment back to you that has been absent for a very, very long time. So either do this or forever sit in the background waiting for somebody to come or something to come and save you. And trust me, I know it's not going to happen, unfortunately, because I've done it already. Do you know what I mean? So working with your altar, especially now, in these times now, it's so important. And if you're really, really ready to kind of receive those blessings, you've got to get action-based. You have to get action-based, right? So I had a conversation with Sekhmet, and I said to her 2 weeks ago at my altar, I said to her, I really need to embody more of your wisdom, your magic. I felt like I got to the level that I got and I needed more. And she said, well, you have to open your heart. There is nothing more to do except to open your heart. So I remember sitting in that meditation and calling her to open my heart. And I sat there and I left it alone. Now, it's funny, isn't it? We forget what we ask for. So 2 weeks later, I've had this pain in my shoulder, and it's deep inside my shoulder. It's not muscular. It's not neural. It's just deep inside, and it moves around. So I know it's energetic. And I've been doing my weights. I've been lifting heavy things, and I popped my shoulder on the weekend. I was like, oh, that'll do it. So I was in absolute agony for 2 days. So I did my own healing on it. I worked with my magnets. I pulled all the energy out. Now, all the energy and emotion that was coming out, because your left shoulder is direct connection to your heart, grief, deep-seated, really old, crusty grief, okay? Sadness, sorrow, just all of these things. But the biggest one that came out was blaming. So straight away, blaming, I didn't think about anybody out there. I went straight to myself. I was like, blaming myself. So then that blaming, okay, which I believe we all have something in here, that blaming goes straight to me not looking at what I have achieved. Because if I was looking at what I have achieved and the abundance I do have in my life and looking at the bigger stuff, I wouldn't be blaming myself for anything, because I would be thinking abundantly. Abundance of the mind. I'll be thinking abundantly. But because I'm always looking at what I haven't done, what I haven't achieved, and I'm always thinking in lack, truth, I have to work hard with this, I'm then like blaming myself. That leads to blame. Oh, well, you haven't done that today. oh, we haven't done this. Well, hang on a minute. Can you look at the 5 million videos you've recorded? Can you look at the tools that you've put together? Can you look at this? Can you look at that? You've taken care of your family. I don't look at those things because I'm too busy at looking. I'd rather berate myself. Okay. So that is where blaming comes in. Now think about it. Blaming is the biggest block to receiving. If you're blaming someone out there or you're blaming yourself, that is an absolute sever to receiving your abundance. Now, the reason I bring up this particular emotion is if you are doing your altars, do your altars, not doing your altars, whatever. Either way, if you're working on receiving your abundance and living a better life, right, then that is what's going to be the biggest block, blaming. Right? Because you're already at a sense of lack with that. And that is common with every single one of us. So with us, with these altars or whatever we're doing, we are working on being harmoniously aligned with the universe, which means we are match vibration of harmony. We are focusing on ease flow. We are focusing on the ebb and flows, not the extreme highs and lows. We're focusing on abundance, richness of life, success. Success means joy. We're focusing on all of those things, but we got a big layer of blame. Okay, so if you're judging others, blaming others or yourself, which if you're doing that anyway, then how can abundance come through that? It's a no-brainer. It ain't going to happen. So you can sit there and basically meditate in front of your altar till you got nosebleed. Ain't shit going to change. It's not going to work. So this is what happened. This was the big breakthrough I had on the weekend. So I said to Sekhmet, I need to open my heart. She was like, done. And then opened my heart, left shoulder, poof, all of this stuff. And I've been gently pulling it out. In fact, I have a dispelling fear altar here, and I have Isis on here, I have Sekhmet, and I have Hathor. So Sekhmet brings the fire of transmutation of the shadow. Isis brings the healing, okay, and the clarity. And then, of course, Hathor brings the laughter, the joy, the lightness to it all. So I've got a beautiful concoction between the three of them there. And I had Isis like literally pulling all this stuff out my arm. I had Sekhmet sucking out the shadow of it in my body that was coming from here. And I just had Hathor going, smile and wave, smile and wave. Do you know what I mean? And that's what happened over the weekend. And now my shoulder is a lot better. Now, what I clear for myself, I clear for everybody. So there is definitely a collective wounding of blaming. So maybe consciously go into that and, do you know what I mean? Just like dispel that if this resonates with you in any way, shape or form. Now, if it isn't specifically this coming up for you, that's no biggie, no problem. Because at the end of the day, what we are asking for here is power. We want to be empowered. We want to be in our power. We want to be sovereign. Okay. We are sovereign, but we want to dispel anything that is telling us otherwise, right? So you might have another version of that could be repelling your abundance instead of allowing it to come in. So think about it. Left hand or left shoulder, that is where we receive. So when I put my hand out, we receive from this hand. So I can't receive because it comes in here and then give. I can't receive because this was all blocked. So they were like, oh no, honey, this isn't going to work. So that's what happened. So I got this massive clearing through here. So I believe that this energy update is all about blame. Now I want to take you to one next step now, because this is going to help you greatly and shifted this energy on top of your energy work, right? I have released, and it is on here, go to your meditation, go to the Get Activated, where the meditations are on this channel. There's one called Mental Alchemy, and it works with exactly what I'm about to explain to you. So let's take blame, right? What is the opposite of blame? Believe it or not, it's recognition. Recognition is one of my core woundings, right? Being overlooked, overseen, not recognized, no recognition, right? That's a very much an ancestral line for me. And I think it's just for starseeds in general. We just feel so kind of like, yeah, not seen. You know what I mean? So that the opposite of blame is recognition or praise, compliment. When do we ever talk to ourselves like that? We don't. So blame is a very, very real thing. Okay. It's capping our abundance, right? So what I've spoken about in the Hermetic principles is a principle called polarity. Okay. Polarity means that basically nothing is separate. So so blame and recognition are the same thing. It's just that with the principle of polarity, blame is basically the lowest vibration of recognition. In the beginning, when you were whole, you were recognized, you are recognized, you're recognized. Praise, 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 receiving love, giving love, everything was tickety-boo. And then what happened is we fell from grace, and then shit started to happen and it knocked it down a little bit, and you were like, that didn't feel very nice. Okay, blame, okay, right, and judgment, blame, 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 until we got right to the bottom. And the lowest expression then of recognition was blame. So all we have to do through the polarity principle is bring it up to its original form. You can do this in a meditation. You can do it in 10 minutes. Okay. You can do it with any emotion you want, any feeling that feels shit. You can take it back up to there. Feels amazing. So this is in the mental alchemy meditation, specifically recorded to support the Hermetic principles, specifically recorded to give you the power back to transmute as an alchemist super quick. Don't have to carry that around with you. Abundance starts flowing. Winner. Okay. So that is my share for today. This is indeed my energy update. So I'm going to be looking forward to seeing you on Thursday, okay, for the live stream, 5 p.m. Central Africa time. And then, of course, we have the temple meet to flow into, but we'll talk about that more on the Thursday. But yeah, let's get going now, guys. The time is now. Collectively, we're all working with our altars or our energy portals, and we're coming together in this community here. So thank you for that. And that makes that even more potent as well. The fact that we're connecting up. Think about it. You've got an altar. I've got an altar. You've got an altar. Do you know what I mean? We are connecting this up together. So think about the potency of that, how powerful that is. So you've got to be in it to win it. So if you haven't built your altar, go get it. Go get it. I'll see you Thursday. Peace.